behind, how people remember you, the gifts that you left, the people that you affected, the leadership that, contributed to all those things. And, Eddie Robinson obviously did that for many, many, many years for so many people and created opportunities for a lot of people who may not have had an opportunity to improve the quality of their life through getting an education. And, Coach Spurrier was an icon in terms of his influence on the game, and the success that he had as a player and as a coach is pretty much second to none. So it's a real honor for me to be associated with this group who can recognize people who have made such an impact in coaching.
And Coach, what's your biggest takeaway being in these rooms with all these legacies? I mean, it's kind of a unique thing you get to do throughout your career, but what's your biggest takeaway when you're in these special environments?
Well, I still kind of see myself as a kid growing up in West Virginia that, hoped and dreamed that someday he would do something of significance. So every time I'm around people that have accomplished things of significance, who have actually been mentors to me, through the years, who I looked up to and tried to learn from and tried to emulate, not only how they coached and what they did, but the class they showed and how they impacted other people in the community. I just, relationships that you have with other people is probably the most cherished thing that we all should have. So, I'm just honored to be able to associate with these kinds of folks and learn from them.
Coach, this is called the Legacy Award. What do you want your legacy to be when it's all said and done?
Well, really, my goal, our goal as a program and as a coach is to help our players be more successful in life because they were in the program that we had. I think there's a lot of life lessons that you can learn in athletics, and hopefully they can carry those things over into things that are going to help them be, better parents, do a better job someday, have more success in their career, have a happier, more self-fulfilled life. So anytime a player comes back and says, Coach, you really made an impact on me, I think that's what I'd like my legacy to be.
What are some of your memories with Steve Spurrier? As a head coach, he liked to mix things up. He was provocative as a coach. What was the memories with him?
Yeah, well, Steve was always sort of an icon in terms of great scheme offensively, really great play caller, really hard to defend because he was really kind of unpredictable, but not unpredictable in a bad way, but always very well prepared. His offensive teams were very well coached. Really hard to defend, what he did. And to be honest with you, we never had a whole lot of success against him if you really want to look at the record. So he was someone that I thought was someone that I always looked up to in terms of the success that he had, the program that he ran, the things that he did, the relationships that he created with players. So I had the utmost respect for him and still do.
You were talking to Coach Spurrier and he was referencing that 2010 victory. He said that's the biggest win in the history of that program. As Alabama, when you're getting everyone's best shot every single week, and Archie Manning was saying the biggest game he ever played in was in Legion Stadium. How cool is it to coach in a state where football means so much, not just to people here, but just around the country?
Well, I think that, look, we want to have success, and I think when you have success, especially if you can, success is not a continuum, success is momentary, so it's very challenging to maintain a level of success. But when you do it, you know that, you sort of become the target of a lot of people. They would like to beat you. Our players, definitely need to understand that, know that, so that they're always at their best. But I think it just kind of goes with the territory. When you do have a good program, you do have a good team, you do have success, and this would be for any program or any individual who is very successful. It's very challenging because you're going to get your opponent's best shot.
Coach, I've always been curious. You've been to all these places around the country, all around the world. You've been to the ESPYs and you see all these celebrities, and people are so awestruck when they meet you. Who is somebody that you've been awestruck over your career? Or maybe a young Nick Saban, somebody that you said, wow, that's a celebrity there.
Well, look, anybody in any profession who has had a tremendous amount of success, I have an admiration for that because I know how difficult it is. I don't care if it's in the music industry and you're the Eagles or Michael Jackson or the Rolling Stones. I mean, those people have been successful for a long, long time. Elton John. So, you know, I admire that. I admire Kobe Bryant. I admire Michael Jordan, guys who were dominant for a long, long time, and they did it on a very consistent basis because, you know, some people can be dominant for a little while, but it takes a special someone because it's not really human nature to try to be the best you can be. It's human nature to survive. So when you have somebody who gets to the point where they want to be the best that they can be, and they can sustain it for a long, long time, you know, that's really something that I have a tremendous amount of appreciation and admiration for. So the day Kobe came and spent a day with our team, Michael Jordan spoke to our team. You know, a lot of successful people have come and tried to impact and give our players leadership and direction on, you know, how they can sustain their performance. So, you know, all those folks, I really admire great competitors. I really admire people who are able to sustain success, whether it's in business, whether it's in sports, whether it's, you know, in music, it doesn't matter, but I think that's a quality that I think is really, really special when you can sustain success.
One more, guys.
Can you say something about the Monday morning quarterback club and how important it is to the community here and what it's meant to you too?
Yeah, well, the Monday Morning Quarterback Club, I think, is an organization that we've always been willing to support because, you know, they do so much for Children's Hospital. They make a tremendous impact on a lot of people, young people having an opportunity to be successful, which, you know, goes right along with and runs parallel to Nick's Kids and what we try to do in our foundation. So when you get like-minded people together that have similar causes for what they want to try to accomplish and do, even if it's just in community service and community support for young people, we're always there to support them. And I think they've made a tremendous impact here at Children's Hospital. All right?
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
By the way, love the tie.